No ads, no spam, no big business. Just free.
Log in now and make your contribution today to support your favorite project at Donate to.
That's right, we're right across the river from Palestine, as a matter of fact, here in Aqaba. The new moon, the Hilal, has been sighted for the month of Shawwal.
When the adhan is called, it doesn't matter where you are. You go and you make your salah, alhamdulillah.
Now, I think this is something that inshallah ta'ala will all be able to benefit from.
Guide Us TV is free. No ads, no spam, no big business. Just free.
Log in now and make your contribution.
And guys, guess what? We're coming to you almost live all the way from here in California. And here's the phone number. You can call us tonight and you can talk to us. Yes! Oh my God! I'm excited. You know what, guys? Seriously, we do have a lot of things to be excited about. Number one, the biggest excitement of my life happened to me 29 years ago. You know what it was? I accepted Islam and everything changed. You know how? All in my mind, all of my life, I was trying to put the things together, the pieces, you know, like you're missing some pieces. Have you ever had one of those not crossword puzzle, the puzzles, you know, you put together like 1,000 pieces, something like that. And there's always some pieces missing. And you can't figure out, and the worst thing is somebody put the wrong pieces in there and you're working and trying to figure it out and it doesn't work. But then one day, and I'm trying to convert a Muslim to be a Christian, and the things that he told me finally made sense. 3 months, I'm trying to convert him. And then all of a sudden, one night, here's his words to me, guys. He said, this is not between you and me. This is not between you and your father, because I was worried about what my father would say, because he, you know, is an ordained minister. And then he said, it's not between you and your wife. And she was very much a born-again Christian. And he said, and it's not about you and your congregation. It's not about you and your people there. Your customers in your store. He said, this is about you and him. Go talk to him. That's what he said. Go talk to him. And it all just like came together. And I was like, whoa, 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 what? Just because I was used to like debating and arguing and, you know, this and that. And he's trying to explain how 3 is 1 and 1 is, you know, and but when I put my head on the ground, I did copy the thing that I had seen him do. Put his head on the ground. I thought that's an amazing thing, you know, to me. To see somebody put their head on the ground, that's so humble. And then I put my head on the ground and I just said these words. God, guide me. What do we say every day? As Muslims, what do we say every day? And every salah. Idina Sirat al-Mustaqim. Idina Sirat al-Mustaqim. Guide us, guide us, guide us. And that's why we call it Guide Us TV. And now you know. Because when I lifted up my head, I looked around. I was outside, by the way. I looked around and I said, you know what? The problem is not outside. The problem is inside. If I just work on the inside, my relationship with him, this is what I need to work on. And since that day until now, I've had other disappointments, yeah. I've had things that went wrong, yeah. But I still understand what this is. What is this life about? And how the pieces are supposed to fit. And the best part is all the pieces are there if you want to take the time to put it together. All right, now that's enough of me chatting away here and having a good time. I wanted to bring out our guests, and first I'm going to bring my guest who is, he's not really a stranger to us, but he's been running around, I don't know, like a chicken with his head cut off. But we got him back, and let's bring him out here right now. Here is Dr. Adam. Assalamu alaikum, doctor.
Alaikum salam, flower guy. You're right about the chicken foot. But I also got attacked by an army of ants, very powerful ants.
Army ants? Wow.
Yeah. Work in the backyard, as we're trying to fix the door. We had this bad storm coming, and was just out there with some helpers, and subhanallah, I didn't feel it at the time, but later on, it just makes you humble. Those little ants, they come, and everything was on fire. Alhamdulillah, today's.
I understand how that works. By the way, doctor, have you ever been in Africa?
Just Egypt.
Well, Egypt's in Africa, so yeah, the answer is yes.
That's right.
And unless somebody moved it when I wasn't looking, but I think Egypt is still a part of Africa. Is that right?
That's true.
So in your part of Africa, in the area you grew up in, maybe you had them, maybe you didn't. But when I was down in Mandera, Kenya, I saw ant hills that were taller than me by about 4 feet. So I'd be about 10 feet tall. 10 feet tall. And when you went up to them, it was like they were made out of ceramic. And I thought it would be like, like dust or something. No, that was hard. And the ants were coming out of there were kind of big, and I looked at those and I said, you know what? Here's something. I think I'm standing in the wrong place. I better move myself back to the van. And I ran back because I realized if these guys get mad, I don't have a chance. They'll eat me up.
That's right. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So you got attacked by ants, huh?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Maybe it's a family thing I'm not understanding, but I always hear about the ants, but I never hear about uncles doing anything like that.
That's a good one.
Hey, we got another guest here. Let's bring him in right now. Assalamu alaikum, Dr. Sultan. Assalamu alaikum. How's everything in Mo?
Mo is Mo. It's great. It's
MashaAllah. What's the temperatures like over there right now in St. Louis, Missouri?
65 degrees right now. In the morning, during the daytime, it was 72 degrees.
Send it to me. I need it. We're still cold over here. I need to get warm.
That's amazing. Florida is always warmer than our place, but this is a reverse right now. Last night you said you had to turn the heat on because the temperature dropped to 50s, something like that, right?
Well, yeah, but the problem that we had, I kept thinking somebody's going around and turning down that my son and my grandson are staying here with us, and I had the feeling maybe they're going up there and then dropping that temperature back down because they like it cold, man. And I set it up on 72. I thought, all right, that'll be nice. And I got colder and colder, and I went and looked at it again. It was 68. And I said, what happened? And then my wife told me, it said, read I'm not the guy who reads anything, seriously. I write a lot of books and things like that, but I don't like to read. And I didn't read that thing. It said that if you wanted to stay on the temperature when you first started up, like the air conditioner or the heater, you have to hold it. You get your temperature, but you got to hold it. And I didn't hold it. So that's what the problem was. Anyway. Enough about all of that. Let's find out in Missouri right now. We found out the temperatures are, you got the good temperatures, mashallah. But what about the people's temperature when you take it? You're a doctor, a medical doctor. I know you have to take temperatures. How is that COVID virus doing over there?
COVID virus, like anything, all over the country is doing the same thing. Rising and rising.
No, we want you to be specific and tell us what is really happening, because you say it's like everything, and people like are looking around like, what kind of answer is that? Come on.
I want to give you a short answer, but anyway.
Yeah, well, but that's not an answer. It's just like everywhere. Come on.
The hospitalizations are up. More and more people are sick. Now, in this week, I had more of my patients report COVID than all the time since March. So that was about 3 or 4 of my patients reported that they have active COVID infection. One of my close friends, he's in the hospital with oxygen and respirator on. So this poor guy is a young man, probably in late 50s or early 60s. I mean, still a young man. And yesterday, the last time I heard was he was quite sick. Allah Ta'ala, I pray that Allah Ta'ala give him full recovery.
Ameen.
Because one of the most debilitating problems is that in addition to the short COVID infection, there's a long COVID infection that even when after the acute infection is gone, now the patient has chronic fatigue and muscle aches and pains and
so whenever you get over the disease, it's not over. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. It is pretty much on the rise and on the go. And I'm so glad that the government is starting to take started to getting serious. I mean, the new government will come in, is taking
100 years ago, they had an expression, it's not over until it's over there.
It still holds true. It still holds true.
All right. Well, let's find out what's happening in Florida. Yeah, let's find out.
Actually, we wanted to kind of switch gears now. There seems in the last 48 hours a starting of a switch in the culture of more people on their own. They're wearing masks. More people on their own. They're starting to promote that among others. Which is a very positive thing. This is a sign of true patriotism, that we care about each other, that we respect each other, that we don't want to harm each other. And, the more that is positive change is happening, it will translate to less infection rate, less lives lost, less, utilization in the hospital, ICU, ventilators, all that. It is preventable. We already know that. And I believe there has to be a turning point, and hopefully it will be starting to see the numbers at least not spiking up all the way, but maybe flattening a little bit and plateauing, and maybe coming down like we did before. So let's hope because these are simple measures. We're not talking about vaccine yet. Just strengthen your immune system. Social distancing, masks, and improve hygiene. And if we do that, that's a big impact on all the parameters that I mentioned.
Well, I have another question. Now, it seems as though pretty much what you told us back in April, I think it was in April, it seems like it's been following you pretty much along that line. So, and I know you're not a prophet. You didn't predict that out of your own mind or something. You were using some kind of criteria to establish in your mind how to present this to your patients and, of course, to us as well. And we definitely appreciate it. But where do you see this going now? Now, like you said, it's going to come back real strong, and it did. It's the strongest it's ever been, I guess, isn't it?
Yes, this is the highest ever been in terms of infection rate. But again, all these data was based, I didn't make it, this was all based on predictive modeling. Everybody has a certain model of what expected number of cases, infections, fatalities, and all that. But all these numbers could be very much reduced significantly. The number of deaths, the number of infections, new infections, the number of diseases, simply changing the culture into more outdoor activities rather than indoor. Indoor seems to be the highest risk, where there's all, like almost super spreaders kind of an event. But if we have it outdoors and keep it the mask and all that, that's
speaking of numbers, I want to put the number up on the screen and be sure everybody can call us. Call us at 1-800-971-4383, or if you're calling on WhatsApp, try 817-546-3396. It might work tonight, it might not. It didn't work last night. People tried to call us on WhatsApp and it didn't go through because we got a new security thing on our IP address. We had to do that because we got hacked really bad. Anyway, so that's the phone number. I'll repeat that again, guys. At least if you're in the United States, I know that works because I get calls on it all day long. 1-800-971-4383. Give us a call and we can talk about anything you would like. But you have two very special doctors right now, Muslim medical professionals, ready to answer your questions, anything that you want to ask. And we did have one a leftover from a couple days ago. So I don't know, Dr. Sultan or Dr. Ada, which of you would like to answer it, but this is a question about what if I'm wearing my mask, all right, and then other people are wearing their mask, but some person doesn't wear the mask, and they come in, and it happened that somebody said the postal worker came with a package and didn't have a mask on. But when they answered the door, they were surprised. Whoa, what? This is a postal worker not wearing the mask. But they said that they had their mask on. And then somebody told me, and he's not a doctor, but he said, well, the person with the mask was being kind to the other one because it was saving that person from getting it. But that other person was not being kind back because they could still send the disease out. So what the mask is, that the question is the mask for me or is my mask for somebody else?
Well, there's a funny joke going around about this. You see, it's to make people understand. It goes something like this. If it's inappropriate, you let me know, okay? Let's say it says you're jogging in the park naked. Somebody pees on you, you're gonna get wet, you see? If you're wearing pants, yeah, you may get a lick.
That's very graphic there, Doc.
That's not the kind of answer I was looking for from a medical professional. Whoa! Oh! Okay, wow. And I thought I was bad. Oh, man. Say you're running in the park. Yeah, never mind. I don't want to even go there. Oh. All right. My fault. I shouldn't have asked the question. Dr. Adel, could you give us a more medical terminology of all of that?
Yeah. The mask works as protection to the person himself, to basically as a barrier, to get infected from anyone who comes in contact with them, and also protects the others that they will not have any spread of the virus from, the person who's not wearing the mask. So it works both ways. Like somebody takes the carpet to the prayer in the masjid. You know what? When you pray on it, it prevents spread from whatever position of sujood that somebody else used, and also it prevents infection both ways. So that's how everybody should look. If you all are in one line in the post office in a very tight space, they get frantic. If somebody kind of steps over where the mark on the floor is, where they're supposed to be, and rightfully so. So it is, now I think people realize if we do simple things like that, definitely will come. And then the 1-800 number is up there, 971-4383, for anyone who has questions. But Sheikh, I promised before, maybe get a couple of minutes on how Islam changed medicine. Really? Yes, this is straight from the medical library of National Library and the NIH, and it really puts a lot of perspective into how the contribution that Islam had made to the practice of medicine. If it's okay with you.
Yeah, go ahead. I think that's a very good idea. Let's find out what, if anything, has Islam or Muslims contributed to the medical profession in the last 1400 years? Anything at all?
Well, we're gonna, this is, was a beautiful recognition and a fair statement that was given by the Islamic civilization. It is a civilization that ruled the world for 13 centuries, extended from Indian Atlantic Ocean, and the buildings, and for instance, in Andalusia, in Granada, Alhambra, and all that stand as witnesses to the really architectural imprint of this civilization. So and how it impacted Western Europe and the rest of the world. Less to be remembered how it impacted the Western science and technology and the advancements of medicine between the year 800 to 1450 for almost 7 decades. These, the royal institutions today in the West was all look back to the contribution that the Muslim scholars have made in Baghdad, Cairo, and in Damascus, Syria, and Tunisia, and so on. It spread in the Arab Peninsula, and in Islam, and went to really to learning how the Arab scholars translated philosophical and scientific work from the Old Greek and Syriac language, which is the language of the Eastern Christian scholars, and they really have translated into Arabic, as Arabic was the official scientific language in the world at that time during the establishment of Dar al-Hikmah, or the House of Wisdom, by the Abbasid Khalifa al-Ma'mun in Baghdad in 830. And again, the official language, scientific language in the world that everybody communicated with discoveries and articles and abstracts, was the Arabic language, which is the language of the Quran. And the dissemination of information and the knowledge to all cultures, to all mankind, what happened through the many Arabic scholars with the numerous important scientific technological advances that they have done in astronomy, chemistry, and medicine. And it's really nice that certain things that have to do with the crystalloids, the dissentillation, the use of alcohol as an antiseptic, for instance, before surgical procedures, and so on. Arabic physicians and scholars have contributed to the basic of medical practice in Europe and further back, after that to the U.S. And the main Arabian hospitals came to the medical education, introduced the concept of different structures, like in the hospitals, a separate wards for men and women, personal and institutional hygiene, medical records, and pharmacists. Ibn al-Nafis, one of the Arab physician in the 13th century, he's the first to describe the pulmonary circulation, which is the circulation in the lung. 300 years before William Harvey did. This was the one that you see now in the textbooks. But Ibn Nafis was the first one to describe the pulmonary circulation 300 years earlier. We have surgeon Ibn al-Qasim al-Zahrawi, who had really significant contributions on how the surgeries were done, and how, he was also a noted pathologist, that he described certain conditions like hydrocephalus, where you have communicating increased pressure in the brain, and how did you develop the catgut sutures, which are being used right now for the surgical closure of wounds, the catgut sutures. This was all done by Muslims. And it described, for instance, other giants and icons like Arazi. In 865, as a great physician of the Muslim world, he wrote the book, Kitab al-Mansuri. Was a textbook that had 10 volumes that tracked down the Greek medicine, and also published in how the infectious disease like smallpox and measles, and contributed to really what we have known as currently, as because it reprinted in the 19th century. Ibn Rushd also has widely, taught his knowledge in European universities. Ibn Sina, which is the most advanced and more well-known, Abyssinia, was well-known in the West as the Prince of Physicians. He really have contributed so much. His book, Al-Qanun al-Tibb, which is the canon of medicine, that was the authority. It was the final authority in any medical, matter in Europe for centuries, and it has contributed to the current knowledge now in medical schools across the globe. Also, advances in pharmacology and clinical practice, general contribution in philosophy and medicine, and it created a system where the combination of you have physical medicine, psychological factors, interaction of drugs and diet that contributed to treating physicians and treating patients. Obviously, the renaissance of the peak that happened and continued until 1450. After that, it went into a decline. But that's where the medicine was in Europe was practiced by priests because they started getting the knowledge from all the contribution that the Muslims and Arab physicians and scientists have contributed into that. So it's only the gap in the last 500 to 600 years where that decline has taken places, but all the basics as far as the hospital structure, the hospital, the pharmacy, the delivery, the hygiene, the infectious disease, the surgical tools, the approach to mental and physical conditions, all these things have been picked up, and all the translations of literature have been picked up by Europeans, and then contributed to their uprise in terms of the knowledge and advances in technology, and then later transferred across the Atlantic into the New World, into the Americans, 250 years ago. So it's good to put things in perspective. It's really good to know the iconic contribution that the Muslims have done, and they did this for free. There was no charge on disseminating the information that will help all mankind, as they were motivated by doing what is good and following the teaching of, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, the book of Allah, that the Muslim follow, and also the teaching of the best of creatures, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the best of all mankind, to emulate him in the way that you have empathy to the patient. Right now there's a huge problem that actually take a lot of physicians and teach them how to actually show that you care about patient. Show that you have empathy, because I know there's a lot to do with lawsuits and all that when patients are just like, if they're just doing it to justify billing, and somebody did that through a TV screen with a guy in ICU said, "I'm sorry, you're going to die in 24 hours," and so on. And we could
wait a minute. Whoa! On that last part, you said that a remote screen, the doctor's going to tell you through that remote screen that you're going to drop dead, or the assistant?
Somebody was saying, like the way that somebody can actually communicate with the patient's family and all that. They got so pissed that there was no in-person, it was through a screen, and it's a click and drag just to document it that was a visit was made. But obviously, it was very cruel the way that it was made. These were all examples that these conferences are made to really get empathy back into the practice of medicine rather than just a transactional kind of dealing. I'm here. This is what it is, and just to justify the billing, I'll see you later, rather than actually see what the patient go through, understand and listen to them and pray with them and really give them the support that they need, because it's not just a medicine. It's really very multi-faceted kind of a support.
Well, I think we got to take a break right about now. This is a good chance for us to take this break. We're going to be right back right after this, guys. So pay attention and stay guided with Guidance TV. We'll be right back right after the break.
Thank you for taking the time for watching today. One of the things I think is important, I wish we taught more in our schools about.
Here are some ways to get Guidance TV. Via satellite on Galaxy 19 FTA. At this satellite frequency, transponder rate 5, frequency 11836 MHz, polarity vertical, symbol rate 20770, FEC 3/4, channel ID, Guide US TV. You can also download the app to your smartphone. Available for iPhones from the App Store, for Android on Google Play. And now Guidance TV is available on Roku. Get guided.
And that's right, we're right across the river from Palestine. As a matter of fact, here in Aqaba, the new moon, the Hilal, has been sighted for the month of Shawwal.
When the adhan is called, it doesn't matter where you are. You go and you make your salah, alhamdulillah.
Now, I think this is something that inshallah ta'ala will all be able to benefit.
Guidance TV is free. No ads, no spam, no big business. Just free.
Log in now and make your contribution today to support your favorite project at Donate to.
And that's right, we're right across the river from Palestine. As a matter of fact, here in Aqaba. All right, and we're back from the little break that we had. I wanted to ask Dr. Sultan now about some of the things that Islam is bringing to us during this pandemic that is actually something from Islam long ago that we're just now, as lay persons, in other words, we're not doctors, I'm not, so, but I'm hearing a lot of stuff that I read about in Islam, and I think this is a good chance for us to kind of give credit where credit's due. Dr. Sultan?
Yes.
What about the mask? What about quarantine? What about some of the things that Islam is telling us about?
Yeah, it's a very good and pertinent topic at this time. Prophet ﷺ said that if there is an acute pandemic going on in an area, those people who are there, they stay put over there. Those people who are out of that area should not travel that area. That was 1400 years ago. Our Prophet ﷺ advised that, and now we see that that is the one of the major bases of preventing the spread all over the world, and one of the major reasons why we are having so much pandemic is that in due course of time, very early, we did not stop the air travel and other travels, and that's what made it spread all over. Number two, what you should do is personal hygiene. Whatever Allah Ta'ala tells us how to, Prophet taught us how to do wudu, keep our body clean, rinse your mouth, rinse your nose, wash your hands, up to the...
we got a call here. Let's see what we got on it.
Mohammed Hassan.
All right. Salam alaikum, caller. Go ahead. You got us. Hello.
What? Walaikum assalam. Is that Brother Yusuf?
Yes, it is. Who is this?
This is Bilal, calling from Pakistan.
Calling from Pakistan.
Oh.
All right. Do you have a question for the doctors tonight?
Well, yes.
You need to really speak up because I don't have a mic on my phone. And so if you just speak louder, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Question is, I'll make it brief. Question is that in a time, pandemic, when it's so difficult for most people, at times we face challenges among family as well, where relatives are not treating each other so nice. So if somebody's been treated badly by family, whether somebody's taking their right or inheritance or anything like that, what could one possibly do in terms of treating family? Is it okay to give them a taste of their own medicine, or is it best? What does Allah say regarding something like this?
I think that's a very good question, Bilal. Bilal, I think that's a very good question. Perhaps you can consider in Surah An-Nur, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is making it clear that Aisha had done nothing wrong. The people were accusing her falsely of something, or something really bad. And so Allah is bringing forth that answer himself. And then her father, Abu Bakr, is the father of Aisha, and her father knew that some of his own relatives were the ones that spread this. And he had been supporting them, giving them donations and things like that. And he said, I swear I will never support them again because of what they did. And then the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, hold on a second, because Allah revealed something then that we shouldn't cut off our family. In other words, whatever they do, you don't do that. You always go back with something better than whatever the people did. Do you follow that?
Yeah. Try to be a better person and have faith. Yeah.
Well, there's two reasons for what you said, and you're right. That's absolutely true. But there's two things that we think about. One is what other people think of us, and then the other one is what Allah thinks of us. And that's the number one thing to start with, because we're only in this life as a test anyway, right? And so on the day of judgment, you want it to be said that, oh, look at this guy was even worse to his family than his family was to him. Whoa! I don't think that would work out very good. What do you think?
Excellent point, yeah.
Yeah. So I by the way, I understand what you're going through to a point anyway, because we have family. As a matter of fact, when we get done right here, I have to go 50 miles to our family over there and try to solve a problem, and then come back, and it's a big deal for us. And but we have to be patient with each other and realize that nobody is really coming out ahead of any of us. We're all going through the same thing right now. You know what I mean?
Sorry, just a little difficult to hear you. So.
All right.
Sure.
Are you watching this on TV, or are you watching this on the phone, or how are you watching us?
Well, I'm just guessing that you will have a lot to continue with on the program, so I won't take more time. I will say that, mashallah, nearly 30 years when you entered Islam, and I'm so surprised when I see you live and working so hard. Alhamdulillah, the energy and keeping going, that an inspiration itself. Excellent stuff.
Actually, the job I'm doing tonight is the best part of my whole day, because I get to sit down. Alhamdulillah.
I'm gonna catch that on video soon, because it's just a little difficult to hear you, but. Best wishes and my prayers with everybody there, everybody with Guidance TV especially.
All right. Well, I'm going to let the doctors also give you the salam. Guys, go ahead and...
May Allah bless you.
Allah Ta'ala bless you. Allah Ta'ala take your
Forget and forgive.
away. And forget and forgive. Yeah. That's the best advice.
Yep. Forgive and forget, or forget and forgive. I guess either way you go. Thank you so much. Good question. Good question. Guys, if you got a question, now's the time to call in. Don't call in 5 minutes before we're going to go off the air, because that obviously means that you will never get an answer. You probably won't even get through to us. So call in right now. This is the time to pick up the phone, give us a call, ask your question, or just give salams if you want to, but do make a difference. And you pick up your phone and give us a call. It makes us understand that Allah is accepting something we're doing anyway, we hope. So, jazakumullah khair. All right. I want to come back now to... we were just talking on this subject, and I had to interrupt everybody for that. And Dr. Sultan, if you...
Yes.
Yeah,
so we were talking about that what Islam says about pandemic and how or what contribution Islam gives. So first thing I was talking about was that Prophet ﷺ said that in the pandemic area, endemic area, if you don't go over there, if you're outside and you're in there, you stay put over there. That's the number one thing to prevent infection. The second thing comes the personal hygiene, from top to the bottom. All the parts of the wudu, washing your hands, your face, your mouth, your nose, your hands up to the elbows, washing your feet. That is personal hygiene.
All right, let's take another call here. Salam alaikum, caller. Hello.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Brother Yusuf Steve.
MashaAllah. All right. What is your name, brother?
Muhammad from Virginia.
Muhammad from Virginia? What country is that? Oh, that's in the United States.
That's next to Donald Trump.
Next to Donald Trump. Oh, all right. Well, by the way, I heard he's going to be looking for a job. Is that right?
Yeah.
Maybe he can go back to TV. You know, I think he got a taste of you're fired, huh? I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, I'm very lucky tonight. I'm talking with you after 30 years following you, all your show, all your video. Is my pleasure to meet you. And I finally got your number I can talk in person and talk to you, brother.
MashaAllah. Well, I'm putting you up on the screen so everybody can see you right now. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Do you have a question for the brothers? For the doctors? We have another caller. Can I switch over?
Let me see. I was put my camera.
Okay. Can I take the other call?
I saw.
All right. I will. Hello. Salam alaikum.
Salam alaikum, brother. MashaAllah. Salam alaikum, Dr. Saib.
Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Ah, he's got on the Pushtun cap.
Yeah.
Aha. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm not going to be outdone by a wannabe guy here. No, that's not happening. Here we go.
Oh my God.
Yeah, here we go. Huh? What do you think? Yeah. There we go.
There you go. Become brother now.
MashaAllah. Somebody gave me this, and I was looking for the right chance to put it on. When I saw you had that, I said, now is my chance. And
I bought this today.
Yeah?
Yeah, just bought it, brand new today.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Well, I'm so happy that you called us and happy that you're...
Yes. I have a question.
Okay, he has a question. Hold on a second. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, we have a live Streamyard we're using. We have a bunch of our friends and religious scholars from around the world come to our show. I'm interesting to... You can join us and with our live Streamyards, Brother Steve. Is that possible?
We'd have to talk to our station manager about all of that because I don't handle the technical side of it. But if you don't mind to send me a text message on my to the same number that you called.
Doing live programs and then it's
yeah, I got to wrap this. We can't talk about it right now on the air because that's taken away from our show. But let's do this. Just send a text message to the same number you called, and then our guy we all get a copy of it. So he'll get a copy of it, and just tell him what you want to do. Okay?
Sure.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. MashaAllah. Dr. Sultan, you're back. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. So I was coming to the point of personal hygiene, washing hands, mouth, face, rinsing nose. And one of the most important things that we need to talk about is really close personal hygiene, because in the United States, people are not used to it. Instead of dry wiping, we should wash like the day, we should wash, and you can do it for $5. You see, you can get a plant watering can and just wash your private areas after each urination and after each bowel movement. You see, just this one little thing, since this personal hygiene has come, it has reduced significantly a lot of fecal oral infections, along with washing hands and things like that. But if you put all these things together now, including masks and social distancing, that is the best protection under the given circumstances that we can have to protect ourselves and protect our family and protect our friends and colleagues around us. So these are the simple, straightforward things, cost nothing, and have big dividends.
All right. Well, go ahead, Doctor.
I may want to add a couple of things. This is beautiful. Islam emphasized mental wellness as much as physical wellness. And there's the connection with God and reading the Quran and meditation and the dhikrullah. This will be a one way to really counter stress and anxiety and fear, and which is badly needed nowadays. A lot of people don't know what to do. So going back to Allah and actually following what Islam has introduced as simple measures to help with these situations, and also with nutrition. Islam also emphasized
for some reason, the software that we're using is picking up your voice, but it's only putting me and Dr. Sultan on. I don't know.
That's okay. As long as you can hear me, that's fine.
I don't know.
And part of
I don't know what to do with this because.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I just want to say something about one of the fruits of paradise, pomegranate. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned this in the Quran, zaytuna wa rumman. So pomegranate, and which is a very, very strong immune health, stabilizer and booster. And we know now we're in the pomegranate season, but also the flu season, which comes as a beautiful antidote. It's rich in vitamin C, B, K, and protect memory and stop mental deterioration, and also have help. It may help to stop the growth of prostate cancer. and it has a lot of benefits, health benefits through its anti-inflammatory component. It would help with inflammatory bowel disease, Crohn's disease, and this material called flavonols in pomegranate juice may block inflammation in the joints and arthritis. It may help also to lower the bad cholesterol. It's called the LDL. And it also may increase the level of testosterone in men and women, and it can help the sexual performance, and it can help with these issues in marriage and so on. So it could be used as a remedy for diabetes with insulin resistance. It goes back, is actually in the 1600 BC, was found in the residence of the pharaoh in Egypt, and was also, like I said, mentioned in the Quran, in the Holy Book of Islam, and it also mentioned it was reflected on the paint of the tombs, as the ancient Egyptians believed in the life after death. So it's now, yes, we have viruses and all that, but we have also a natural, effective mechanisms and nutrients that can help people to enhance the immune system and fight all these infections and inflammation. And a pomegranate is a great item that should be on the menu, especially with the pandemic.
Doctor, how do you say in Arabic the word
Roman? Roman. Yes. Ra, Mim, Alif, Nun. والزيتون والرمان. In the Quran, it is mentioned as one of the fruits of paradise. So this is one thing that's not frequently being mentioned, but I found it to be very helpful to share those health benefits of the Rumman.
Well, you mentioned zaytun. That's olives, isn't it?
Yes, zaytun is olive. That's correct. That maybe it's a huge. Maybe we could have a separate session for that because it's a huge. Right now.
What about something called tamar? What is tamar?
Tamar is the dates. And the dates has like so many brands and so many shapes and one is called ajwa, and that's the one is mentioned in the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam that protects against sorcery and magic. And if you have 7 dates of ajwa, this particular ajwa of Medina, this is very, very specific.
What about something that's called a teen? What does teen mean?
Figs. The figs, and the teen was zaytun. This is like the Quran said in 1:6 ratio that I mentioned a few months ago. That one of the Japanese, scientists, when he was working in Egypt, because they were working on anti-aging formula, because that's the hottest thing right now to make people young again. And this combination between teen, figs, and zaytun. Zaytun was mentioned 6 times in the Quran, and the figs, the teen, was mentioned once. So when they put it together in this formula, 6:1 ratio, they came up with this product that has the maximum anti-aging effect. And this particular Japanese scientist entered Islam because of that.
Wow. Well, all right. So how do you say grapes in Arabic?
Ainab. Ainab is the grapes are good, easily absorbable, energy boosting, with fructose. This is a special, sugar that comes from Ainab. But don't let the Ainab ferment because it's going to turn into something else.
Well, some people will like that.
Turn it into booze.
What about something called mouse? What is mouse?
Mouse is, again, in the description of the fruits of paradise. The mouse is bananas, but of course, banana, the talh al-nadid that has rich in potassium, and it's of course also easily absorbable
So the mouse or banana is mentioned in the Quran in chapter 56.
Talh al-Nadid. Talh al-Nadid is actually those long branches of bananas. Talh al-Nadid.
And
so we can have a separate one.
Ateen, the fig, has its own chapter, doesn't it?
Yes. Watini wa zaytuni wa turi sinin. Allah swears by teen. Allah swears by figs. Allah swears by zaytun. Allah swears by Mount Sinai.
I like figs anyway, but if Allah likes it, I love it.
Allah swears by it. That's how it is, and of course, it helps with constipation. It helps with regulating bowel movements, and help with energy and easily absorbable and so on. So there's definitely Islam has emphasized the nutrition and healthy food that's free of poor contamination, the free of alcohol, the free of toxins, free of any hormonal manipulations or antibiotic manipulations. Just pure and clean and wholesome. That is another emphasis in Islam with the concept, because you are what you eat. So if you eat good food, then you have good health, and actually use food as medicine to boost your immune system and make you immune system strong to fight disease.
I want to ask you, that's a very good thing. You are what you eat. If you eat carrot, what are you going to become?
Okay, I tell that when you go, there are certain aisles that you should avoid when you go to the supermarket. Stay away from the ham aisle. Tell you about. There's a lot of salt in there. There's a lot of processed, food in there that lead to cancer and high blood pressure, especially with the African American. I know it's cheap, but it's unhealthy, and then people end up with so many diseases. But it's avoidable, and I'm glad now with a lot of stores, there's a lot of halal products, and a lot of non-Muslims are buying it because it's so good, and it's going off quick off the shelves, and I'm so happy. Because people are realizing this on their own, and they are experiencing. They love it. They love the taste of it, and subhanallah, halal and tayyiban. Eat halal. That is pork free and no contaminants and no processes and so on. But also tayyiban, healthy. That's no fat content and no contamination. And between the two of them, I think we got the best meal and the best diet and nutrition policy on the planet.
Well, I see something here on the internet. It says the fruit of peace is hanging on the tree of silence. And they're telling us we got to wrap it up, guys. Oh, no. We ran out of time again? We're just getting started, mashallah ta'ala. Well, yeah. Well, in the words of what was it? The skunk. I think the skunk. He said, well, I'll think about it and tell you tomorrow.
Okay. But you see, a lot of people don't know about this pomegranate is very good for all these things, and it can help them and so on. A lot of people now, they're doing costas. They're learning about costas, and they go.
We gotta wrap it up. We gotta roll out, guys. I'm sorry, we gotta do that. We really gotta get out of here. Let's tell everybody that we'll be back tomorrow. Are you gonna be back with us tomorrow? Is it tomorrow? What was Tuesday? What night is it?
Tomorrow's Wednesday.
Wednesday. When's the next night we're going to be together, guys?
Monday.
Monday. All right, Monday. Yeah, inshallah. Until then, guys, thank you so much, brothers. You are really amazing. I love always having you guys with us for our programs.
Guide us with?
Guided with Guide Us TV. Yay! All right. Man, you did the job. You did my job. That's right. We're right across the river from Palestine, as a matter of fact, here in Aqaba. The new moon, the Hilal, has been sighted for the month of Shawwal.
When the adhan is called, it doesn't matter where you are. You go and you make your salah. Alhamdulillah.
Now, I think this is something that inshallah ta'ala will all be able to benefit